Spooky. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. It's time for that weekly mod collection demo shop update. They were left with 8 guitars that didn't sell last week, but what they popped out this time were some fantastic pieces. Starting with the Red Tigre. This thing started life as one of those SG Moderns. Generally, you find them in the trans black finish or the blueberry fade. This time, we've got a solid color finish. And I really like this. I know they were going for Red Tiger vibes, but it almost looks like reverse color wrapped mummy stuff as well. I mean, you got the voodoo style knobs, you got the red switch tip with the red lettering on the poker chip, matching pickup rings. Looks like we got something going on with our pickups, but I can't quite tell what it is. But then you get the mixed black and chrome hardware. But in case that's not enough, they also did the headstock. They perfectly masked off the logo as well. And then you look at the back, they also did it here. Complete refin with a crazy paint job? Yes. So these are normally $2,400 brand new. Keep in mind on the used market, you can get a much better deal because these don't hold value very well. But for a small premium, you got this cool custom finish. I think this one was worth more than they were asking. That was a bone they were throwing ya. I probably should have bought this one to document. It was that cool, but nope, I didn't because I was too busy being distracted by these 2 other ones. So check out this Les Paul Standard 50s. It's a fair price and they called it Ultimate Pinwheel. All right, it's certainly colorful. So we got light blue, dark blue, purple, pink, orange, red, green, yellow. Then you get like matching knobs complementing that. We've got gold pickups on it with stark white pickup rings, which matches perfectly with this. It kind of reminds me of those parachutes you used to use in gym class. But overall, I just don't think I like the face of the guitar all that much. For me, it's all about the headstock. I think they got the colors and proportions better here. Looks like they had a harder time masking off the Gibson logo on this one. But having the black streaks in between, I think is the saving grace because you do have it on the top here, it's just not as pronounced. So I was all ready to buy this if they did the back too, but they didn't. Kind of a strange choice when the top was so vibrant. However, they actually painted over the binding in a gold color. That's pretty sweet. You'll definitely have to let me know how you guys felt about this weird one. But my instant favorite this week was the first one that uploaded, Jester Gold 50 Standard. Now this one has a huge premium put on it. I mean, these are what, $2,800 brand new? So if we've got $4,200, they must have done some crazy stuff. So let's start with the body. We've got the whole Jester theme going on. We've got a diamond pattern of kind of a goldish orange mixed with white. But then if you look right here, it's either this one is a little bit more golden than normal, or all of these have a color shifting effect to them depending on your lighting situation, which would be really stellar. And even look at the rosewood fretboard on this thing. It kind of matches the vibes because it's got a lot of red streaking in it. That's cool. But check out the headstock. Pinstriped and all gold. Looks like they didn't quite get the eye completely scraped off. But then a brass truss rod cover to match your gold tuners, that's looking nice. And then we get to the back and it's like, whoa. So we have the continuation of like the pinstripe design on here, and then you've got almost like, I'm not sure what this is trying to be, maybe his Jester's jacket or something. But you got more diamonds over here, but they're slightly slanted, but then these ones aren't slanted as much, so it kind of gives you this weird disorienting effect to it. But then we move up the neck, and I really like what they did here. We've got a traditional stinger, but then you almost have like a melted swirled caramel effect going on. It's another one of those demo shop custom serial numbers, which appears to have taken the place of Mod Shop original decals. At the end of the day though, it was a little bit more than I wanted to pay to document it. But check this out, it's so sweet. It gives me dark snakeskin vibes. Like, I don't know if this is textured or if it's just finish. This was a sweet dark red burst. But you've got your dirty finger pickups in here, all black chrome hardware. And this actually started life as a studio, so what they did is they did more of the painted edge that we were seeing on other guitars. That must have been the theme this week, so it's all silver here. Looks like they gave it a special Gibson silver decal logo. The back's actually pretty nice too. That is a vibrant red color. Well, all I've got to say is that was worth the price. But hey, last week we saw an SG special looking just like this that had a Firebird on the back. So naturally, when I saw this, I was like, all right, there better be another Firebird on the back. But look what they did this time. Instead of a mini humbucker or P90 up here, they actually extended the route and put a Thunderbird bass pickup in the neck position. That's not the first time the demo shop has put a bass pickup on an electric guitar. But looks like you've also got the Dirty Fingers as last week, but this time we have like a lime green / yellow, but they're giving you that whole faux neck through vibe. However, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's centered. Maybe it's just the photo angle. But move to the headstock, everything's normal here. Back of the headstock has the stinger, and now the moment of truth. Hey, there's a different kind of Firebird on here. That's the Thunderbird. You know, Firebirds are the guitar version, Thunderbirds are the bass. This new one, maybe not quite as rad as last week. However, I would make the argument that it's more special, simply because of that neck pickup. Naturally, have to have those two guitars in a set now. But check out this classic in face card flush. This is another one that'll kind of make you dizzy if you look at it too long. You got bright white, a saturated red with a white and black bridge pickup, and then red and black neck. Those are very attacking colors. And then what's even better is they did a full refinish. Although I don't think it looks good. But that's just my own personal preference showing through. I like teardrop shapes the best, better than perimeter. But it's easier to do a perimeter burst than it is a proper teardrop. But now we've got medium roast burst 330. I'll be honest, I didn't see this one on launch day, or else I might have considered it. It almost has the /Vermilion burst vibe to it, but a little bit different. It's more so akin to dark Wineburst, which is a pretty rare early 90s color that you can find on a few models. I specifically love the Les Paul Customs. So to find this with the dog ear P90s, the slightly dulled down gold finish with the glowing knobs, orange switch tip, even your headstock has a few custom attributes. I suppose the biggest attribute would be, did they do the refinish on the back? And the answer is no. So yeah, I probably would have passed on it anyway. But it does look pretty sweet for a satin finish. Speaking of old finishes people forget about, here's Goldburst on apparently a 70s Deluxe model. You know, the current day one, not an actual vintage one. So this is reminiscent of Goldburst, which had about 3 different hues back in the early 80s. This one, I feel they went a little bit too wide on the teardrop, but it's cool to see this finish come back in a roundabout way. I think the last time it officially was out was with Bill Kelleher in the mid-2010s-ish era, but the headstock was left alone, and the back appears to be a dark back, so it might have a little bit of red to it in the light. Then there was also a standard 50s done up in Arctic Aqua. Looks like a slightly sparkly metallic blue. It's nice. Features a natural back and side. They had Sienna Drift, which this is actually a 59 reissue, believe it or not. Doesn't look like it anymore. It is a pretty cool top though, with the wood grain and the flame figuring going on. It's just not my favorite color scheme. And putting junior style buttons on a reissue really bugs me, but somebody at the demo shop likes doing that. But that one is demo shop number 21. And hey, we've got more flamingos here. Faded flamingo this time on a standard 50s. Looks like pink bubblegum. It would have been even cooler if it had a matching headstock, but check out that truss rod cover. Ultra aged. And then we got a half refin. Like the body was taken care of, but it looks like they left the neck alone. It's either that or that's supposed to symbolize like the legs of a flamingo maybe? I don't know, it's kind of cool. We had another 356 this week, this time not quite as flavorful. This SG Modern is called Greenberry Fade. I don't really see what they did different here. Maybe it changes colors in the light, like maybe there's a slight green metallic finish over top of the original Blueberry Fade, or maybe it's just because they refinished the back. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm curious, am I alone on that feeling? No, I'm not, it's still available. Then there was a natural satin tribute with decent wood grain with a natural back, a 3-pickup 335 in satin cherry, metallic sepia Les Paul Studio. This one's got the P94 pickups. Hey, Gibson didn't put those in the new pickup shop. What's that all about? Well, this one's actually a pretty cool full refin. Then the Lefties got Chocolatecicle Satin. Okay, that's kind of interesting. They went for the matching headstock on it and the full refinish. And I mean, it's a full on SG standard, so I think that was a good deal for a lefty that wanted a cool custom color. We also had Les Paul Classic in Trans Charcoal. Looks like it was just a new finish on the top and they got rid of the Les Paul Silkscreen, but that's a nice top. And oh, I love it. So it looks like it's got a stripe going down here, right? And maybe they played with the finish, but no, that's just two very, very non-similar pieces of mahogany thrown together. Ah, poor thing, I feel bad. It's 2,000 bucks. I mean, it's beautiful on the top. Is this still available? Nah, somebody picked it up. Otherwise, I would have bought that just right now. So now let's check out the demo shop. A lot of cool players grade stuff, but only one really super ultra fascinating one. A couple of weeks ago, the mod collection had a Sparkle Red 76 Les Paul Deluxe, which is kind of a runoff model of the Mike Ness. We had documented one in this episode. That was just the regular wine red. That's still available if anybody's interested. But now they have a Sparkle Blue one, so definitely throwing back to the original Sparkle tops of the 70s. But this time, instead of mini humbuckers, we've got P90s. I mean, this is a gorgeous example. They definitely weren't trying to go for the exact shade of Sparkle Blue, as this one definitely has a little bit more of a metallic nature to it. It just looks like there's a little bit more of like a prism effect, like there's more colors in this one. But then the back was just left natural, just as the original ones were. Not a bad price at $42.99. In fact, dare I say, that was a steal of a deal. These were $5,000 brand new from dealers, and it looks like most of them have sold through. I mean, these are future collector items, I think. Apparently, the guy who bought that red Sparkle top has also bought this blue one, and he's got a Mike Ness in his collection as well. So my message to that guy is, apparently the Gibson garage actually had quite a few different Sparkle colors. I remember somebody said there was like a green Sparkle and a couple other ones. So there's definitely more to add to your collection, good sir. But then I wanted to talk about this one because it kind of makes me upset. Les Paul Standard 60s Satin just came out, and they're already throwing them in the mod shop for 500 bucks off. It's like, come on, Gibson. Like, if I just bought one of those brand new, which I just did, I kind of feel cheated that you're already selling factory seconds. I feel like they should have held these back for at least 3 months before dumping them. I mean, sure, it says demo on it. It's got a few blemishes, but trust me, most brand new guitars have a blemish if you're looking hard enough and you really want to find something. But they also had a different one right here, although not as heavily discounted. I'm not as upset about this. I mean, 100 bucks off, okay. Here's one of those $10,000 Carina Flying Vs. These occasionally show up in the shop. However, if you're gonna buy one of these, I would highly suggest calling a shop up and maybe haggling with them directly, because I feel the demo stamp on this particular model will hurt its value in the long run. But they're kind of already compensating you for that, kind of. There's a pretty cool Access Standard at 4,200 bucks. It's another one of those rust finishes. This one's got some interesting wood grain, some flame figuring, and then that beautiful, beautiful rust finish back here. And then we had a 54 Standard. So this was supposed to be a gold top with a wrap tail and P90 pickups, but they just completely blacked it out and it looks awesome. The only thing I wish they would have did is put a staple Alnico 5 pickup up here, because then you could get like some 54 custom blent with 54 Standard vibes, and that would be a cool guitar. But ooh, yeah, red back, black top, that would look sweet. I want to custom order that. Alnico 5 in the neck, everything else the same, just the way they did this. Maybe add the pick guard though. They also had a 61 335 custom shop. It's got some interesting wood grain. But I wanted to share this one because I felt like the tuners were just too low on the headstock. I think that's just part of the historic specs though. They just look kind of strange. And then this white Les Paul custom with the Bigsby, that was kind of cool. Not a guitar for everybody, but it's very classy. Then lastly, we can move on to the European demo shop side. They had a whole bunch of these junior tributes this week. There was a blue one, there was a red one, there was a black one, some more blue, and they were all priced about $750. And then they had a whole bunch of really good prices on 60s and 50s Les Paul standards. So like this one was $1,900, including everything, which remember, for the European market, that's a really good deal. And these tops aren't too bad either. I mean, that's nice. That's gonna have some good travel to it. This one's a different color and a slightly mild top. Then other than that, I thought the Songwriter was kind of cool. $2,200. What really spoke to me about this one is the back. That's some cool wood grain. And then the headstock kind of matches it, so that's interesting. And then lastly, this was a smoking deal on a Les Paul Custom. How is this not sold yet? $3,200, including everything, for a 2021 Les Paul Custom that just has like some light scratches, maybe some mild dings. Like, okay, so there's a little bit of a touch up right here. All right, and you'd have to do a little bit over here, but that is essentially the equivalent of the demo shop posting a Les Paul Custom on the US site for like 2,500 bucks, half price. But that is going to wrap it up for this week, my friends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.